There are moments right now when I feel helpless just thinking about how COVID has affected our cities, states, and countries. Regardless of whether or not you believe COVID is real, a longer term conversation has emerged from this situation. And that conversation centers around how we can better support the small businesses that make our towns unique. One of the main aspects of Square State's mission is to uplift and support Colorado local businesses, cool initiatives, and to share the interesting people who make Colorado Colorado. In this episode, I'll share how you can support Colorado businesses. It's not as hard as you think, but I definitely want to encourage you to be deliberate in the process. Right now, I am enjoying a lovely cup of coffee from Steam Coffee Shop's beautiful back patio. Or rather, while sitting on Steam Coffee Shop's beautiful back patio. Not only do I love the quality of the coffee, it's a coffee shop in the Platt Park area of Denver, one neighborhood away from Wash Park and one neighborhood away from DU. I just love this place because I love the atmosphere. It has I actually think it has the best coffee shop patio in the city of Denver. And I love it. It also has one errant murder hornet that I've seen. I'm serious. I've never seen a bug this big in my life. It's noisy and it seems to want to hang out with me every time I'm there. It's about 2 inches long. I digress. I think it will die after the quick cold front that's going to come through. So don't worry about the murder hornet. Anyway, here's the thing though. It's so nice to know that my weekly trips help this wonderful local business stay afloat. It's helping its bottom line. And it seems like a small thing, but over time, that cup of coffee or one of their delicious fresh pressed green juices, those add up over time, and I'm totally fine with it because quite honestly, I'm not spending a lot of money right now. I'm not really driving. I'm not really doing much. I'm not going to clubs. I'm not going to concerts. So that money that I would be spending maybe elsewhere, I've got some money I can use locally. So here's the thing. You need to set the intention about where you're going to decide to spend locally. Go through your spending and look for opportunities to spend locally. Here are some examples of what I mean by this. For example, what kind of self-care products and services do you need? Do you need your nails done, eyelashes, a massage, cleaning services? Do you want fresh produce, or are you looking for someone who bakes bread? There are some amazing bakeries in the city. I should do a whole episode just me going through town sampling bread and butter, but I digress. My point is, there's a lot of opportunities within our daily lives to purchase local goods and services. The next thing you can do is shout out and tag businesses on social media. It's like a simple thing, but it's actually kind of a big deal because you're giving businesses that are providing great services, delicious food, and cool products a testimonial and free advertising when shouting them out. Ask the following question to your favorite entrepreneurs. How can we help you? I've made it a point to ask what businesses are needing help with because sometimes they won't tell you unless you ask. And what they need might be different from what you expect. Businesses may need the following: connections, marketing, staff, or even tech support. Buy gift cards. This is kind of a big deal, especially as we are looking down the barrel of a couple of months until the holiday season. It's all downhill from here because we're in September, about 3.5 months to go. Buy some gift cards. And it's a great way to treat the people in your life to a new to them company, product, or service. In fact, there's a really cool story about someone purchasing something $30,000 worth of gift cards in the Bonnie Bray area when the pandemic first hit. And they basically anonymously distributed the cards to their neighbors. And then the neighbors were able to spend at the businesses in the neighborhood. That was pretty awesome. I'm not saying you have to buy $30,000 worth of cards. If you've got that kind of money, feel free to do it. But my point is, buy some gift cards. Support local markets. There are a number of mini markets cropping up across town. In fact, I just stumbled on one on Bayard in Pennsylvania, which is organized by Uncle Restaurant, that amazing place that makes delicious ramen amongst other things, and has a superb sake menu. They have their little market, but there's also Rise Westwood Collective. There are just these little interesting collectives that are being created throughout the city and throughout the state. So check them out and Google them. Spend a few minutes on Instagram, maybe even put a shout out like, hey, are there cool new markets in your neighborhood? Could you let me know what they are? I was really surprised by a couple of the ones that I've run into. Very excited to check out Rise Westwood Collective, which is in the north side / Highlands. So definitely check that one out as well. Give constructive feedback when asked. Don't just give feedback, okay? If people ask you, give it. And if you're given a survey or asked by a business what they could do better, just really be thoughtful about the process of doing that, because we all want these businesses to win. We don't want to demoralize people. Interview business owners on your podcast, vlog, or active Facebook page. These are win-win marketing opportunities that can also support what you're doing too. Connect businesses with resources. One of the really frustrating aspects of the whole PPP and CARES Act process that I observed was that there were a number of business owners who just really missed out on those funds because they didn't have enough information in order to request those monies, or maybe they banked with a bank that didn't get the initial allocation of funds. So if you are in the know, in my other life, I talk about personal finance. And so I had other friends who were really well versed on what these monies were going to do and kind of where they were going to be distributed. I'm not saying I knew, but I had some friends who had spent quite a bit of time really reviewing the information and studying it. And they were great because they were sharing that quite a bit on their Facebook pages and websites and blogs and vlogs. If you know of people creating information like that and resources, share with business people who may need them, who might not have the time to do the research to find that information because they're just trying to keep their businesses afloat. By the way, local Facebook group communities focused on business are a huge, huge place for resource and product shout outs, information on space rentals and collaboration connections, that kind of thing. So I belong to a couple of local business groups. I'm not that active because I'm pretty busy right now, but one of the things that I love to see in all of them is that they will have designated days where either they're like, hey, share what your service is. Let people know if you have space available for rent. Do you want to do a pop-up or a swap? Can we use your space for something? So if you're a business person, that might be a place to be in and connect in. Or if you're already in there, you might want to share that with other people who may need those kinds of resources and collaborations. Create and collaborate on lower cost pop-up experiences, such as the night market being held at the Fort Greene Bar's parking lot Saturday and Sunday over the Labor Day weekend. So there's a lot of that kind of thing happening. And those are great experiences for smaller businesses that might not be able to afford some of the bigger farmers markets that are out there. Offer your space or parking lot so that people can sell their goods. Tell local news contacts about cool products, projects, initiatives, and there is a lot of power in spending locally. In numerous studies, it's been found that spending locally has a greater impact than purchasing goods and products and services in national chain stores. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-national chains, but I'm very much pro Colorado business. And those small mom and pop stores, businesses, that kind of thing are what makes our state so special. So anyway, I hope that this quick and dirty guide on how to support Colorado local businesses is something that will help you be a lot more intentional about where your money is spent and where it goes. I actually make a point of spending a certain percentage of what I am going to spend during the week anyway at local businesses because it's just so important. And I'm going to spend the money anyway. I might as well do it where I know it's going to have the greatest amount of impact. Thank you so much for listening to the show. Don't forget to subscribe and like. I hope that all is going well. The heat's insane, by the way, and I can't wait for the first snow.